Welcome back, my wonderful friends, to our channel. If you are a fan of amazing dramas and captivating stories, you are exactly in the right place. In today's video, we have prepared a recap of an incredible series that will steal your heart from the very first moment and make you live every single detail alongside the characters. Before we dive into the events, please support us by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and leaving a comment below with your thoughts. Your support helps our family grow even bigger. Grab your favorite drink and let's begin. Our series begins with Hana, a beautiful senior high school student. Hana starts telling us her story, explaining that her parents decided to move to another city and offered to take her with them, but she refused and decided to live alone in an apartment. However, in reality, she had already been living in the same apartment for 2 years with the most popular student in school. To understand why they ended up living together, we go back in time 2 years to meet Shin, the most popular student in school. Every girl had fallen in love with him. Hana's friend Minsu also liked Shin and confessed her feelings to him, but he rejected her harshly. Because of this, Hana gets angry, goes to confront him, and says, "How could you reject her like that?" However, he thinks she is just using her friend's situation as an excuse to talk to him, so he tells her, "Don't tell me you have a crush on me too." Hana becomes furious, pushes him down the stairs, and breaks his arm. Consequently, he forces her to carry him on her back all the way home. At that moment, they both discover that they live in the same building and their apartments are right next to each other. He takes her to his apartment and forces her to cook for him. When Hana sees Shin shirtless, she gets flustered and accidentally starts a fire in his apartment. Hana keeps apologizing to him, but he tells her, "Then I will live with you in your apartment until mine is fixed." The next day at school, Shin goes to her and asks her to give him the key. Hana runs to him and says, "We are doomed. If anyone finds out we live together, we will be expelled from school." However, Shin tells her he is willing to keep it a secret in exchange for her thanking him properly. So she is forced to thank him, even though she can't stand him and wants to smash his face in the streets. But later, she discovers that he is actually kind and caring, not cold like he seems. Thus, she falls in love with him, and he falls in love with her too. That is the reason they continue to live together. Now we return to the present time. The two lovers have already taken precautions and made a plan. Shin leaves for school 10 minutes before Hana, so that if any students see them walking, they won't realize they are dating, which could lead to people discovering they live together. Their plan succeeds, and no one knows they are dating, except Minsu and her boyfriend, because Hana trusted them enough to tell them, knowing they wouldn't tell anyone else. One day, a handsome young man appears at school, and with just one look, all the girls fall in love with him. He starts talking to the girls in English, but they don't understand him. Therefore, he mocks them and says, "You've studied English for 6 years and you still don't understand?" Hana gets annoyed and tells him, "We are in Japan, so speak to us in Japanese." He insults her in English, so she says, "Didn't I tell you to speak Japanese?" He then insults her in Japanese and walks away. Hana gets angry, runs after him, and says, "Wait, I'm not done talking yet." But accidentally, his pants fall down in front of the whole school. The young man insults her and completely crushes her pride, while she apologizes and tries to help him pull his pants up. He says to her, "Do you think I'll forgive you just because you apologized?" He was about to hit her, but Shin, appears at the perfect moment and saves her. At that moment, we discover that the young man's name is Ryan, and he is Xian's cousin who is living in America. They go to play basketball together, and Ryan challenges Xian, saying that whoever scores 3 times wins. Ryan tells him, "If I win, you will come back with us to America." All the students are shocked, and Ryan says to Xian, "You asked me for information about a university in America, and I sent it to you, but you never replied. What happened? Stop messing around. This place does not suit you. You must leave and go to the university in America." Xian ignores him and is about to walk away, but Ryan says, "You seem like a coward who is afraid of a challenge." Xian replies, "I'm not the one who is afraid." Then they start playing. Xian scores the first shot, so Ryan gets angry and scores 2 shots. Xian scores again, and then Ryan scores again. Both of them now have 2 successful shots, and it all comes down to the third and final shot. Xian says to him, "Come on." Ryan angrily takes off his shirt, but in the end, it is Xian who scores the final basket and wins the challenge. This means Shin wins and will not go to America. Ryan becomes furious and tells Shin, "You don't want to go because you have a girlfriend at school, don't you?" Shin replies, "Yes, I have someone I love, and she is with me in this school." Ryan asks him to show her to him, but Shin refuses and walks away. All the girls get upset because Shin is dating someone, but they are sure the girl he is dating must be beautiful, smart, and have a perfect body. When Hana hears them, she looks at herself and realizes she lacks all the qualities they mentioned, and that she is completely flat. Thus, she begins to feel far inferior to everyone's expectations. When Hana leaves, she says she is afraid that someone at school will find out about them, but Shin tells her that there is nothing that will separate us. We accept each other exactly as we are. The next day at school, Ryan starts searching for Shin's girlfriend. He keeps hovering around every girl with a slender body because he knows Shin likes curvy girls. Naturally, Hana keeps following him, but all of Ryan's attempts fail and he cannot find Shin's girlfriend. Whenever he sees Hana, he freaks out and quickly grabs his pants because he thinks she will pull them down again. Hana gets annoyed at him for randomly chasing girls, but he tells her, "No, I'm not doing this randomly. I am looking for Shin's girlfriend. She must be beautiful, curvy, and loyal to Shin." Ryan explains that he met many girls with these qualities, but none of them were truly loyal to Shin. Whenever he tried to flirt with them, they responded easily, proving that none of them were actually Shin's girlfriend. Hana becomes happy to hear this. Then Ryan says to her, "Wait, you are with me. Since you are in the same class, tell me who Shin's girlfriend is." Hana tells him she doesn't know who it is. He takes a long look at her and is convinced that she is definitely unsuitable for Shin, so he removes her from the list of girls he planned to investigate. We then discover that Shin is working as a waiter because he decided to rely on himself and not take money from anyone. His older brother works as a photographer, and his brother tells him, "I know Ryan came to take you back to America so you can take over your father's company, but you refused because of Hana, didn't you?" Shion says yes. Then he asks his brother how someone can protect a girl. His brother tells him that in order to protect her, he needs money because money is the most important thing. He explains that love and romance are important at the beginning of a relationship, but later on, money becomes the most important thing. While Hana is walking back home, she bumps into Ryan in front of her apartment. She ignores him, but Ryan shows her the address of Shion's apartment and asks her where it is. Hana quickly lies and tells him the apartment is far from there. Then she rushes toward the apartment, but just as she is about to open the door, she finds Ryan standing there again. He says to her, "You lied to me, and what is your connection to the key for Shion's apartment?" Hana gets nervous and says, "I work as a maid. I clean, sweep, and mop, and I get paid for it." Ryan believes her and says, "I want to come in," but she tells him, "No, you can't. Shion is not home." He leaves AOL, and Hana is about to shut the door, but Ryan stops her again and insists on entering. She keeps pushing him away, closes the door, and starts cleaning the apartment. She removes the partition between their rooms, hides their photos together, and removes anything connected to her. Meanwhile, Ryan continues to stand outside shouting, "Open the door! Open the door!" When she finally opens it, she accidentally slams the door in his face and hurts his nose, but he ignores it and enters anyway, looking everywhere. Hana notices that her padded bra has fallen on the floor, so she quickly tries to hide it. When Ryan sees it, Hana immediately says, "No, I use it for muscle training exercises." Then Hana asks Ryan not to tell anyone she works there, because people might misunderstand and think she has a relationship with Shion. Ryan replies, "Forget these thoughts. It's impossible for him to even look at you." At that moment, Shion arrives home. Ryan tells him, "I wanted to come in, but she wouldn't let me, and frankly, you should have hired a prettier and more perfect maid." Shion asks which maid, and Hana says, "I am the maid." Right then, Shion decides to tell him the truth and reveals that Hana is actually his girlfriend. Ryan is in complete shock and says, "How is that possible? She is not pretty, nor charming, nor does she have curves, and she can't even speak English. A girl like her doesn't deserve to be your girlfriend. Leave her and come with me to America." But Shion tells him that Hana actually does deserve him. After that, Ryan suggests living with them in the same apartment so he can prove this for himself. Shion agrees, and Ryan says, "All right, I will live with you. I will prove that a girl like her doesn't deserve you, and then take you back to America." From that moment on, the three of them start living together in the same apartment. They eat together, drink together, and even brush their teeth together. Hana does her absolute best to treat Ryan nicely in every possible way. She cooks the food he likes and prepares his bath, but he still continues to look down on her. Whenever he sees her walking with Shion, he feels like he is going to go crazy, wondering how she managed to change Shion so much. And when he sees Shion washing dishes with her, he feels jealous of how happy they are together and the peace they live in. But eventually, Ryan slowly begins to change. He gets used to her cooking and even starts loving it. He and Shion begin fighting over her food. When he sees her ironing his shirts, he looks at her and starts wondering to himself, "Did I judge her unfairly?" Because of this, his relationship with her gradually improves, and Shion notices all of this. At night, Ryan says to Hana, "You are a good person. You take care of me and even iron my clothes, but you still won't succeed because there is something missing in you." Then he continues to criticize her, saying, Your food tastes good, but it has no impact. Your desserts also lack impact. Your sauce seems to lack something, and you don't even know how to prepare a bath properly. If I had to rate you, I'd give you only 70%. Hana gets furious, tackles him to the ground, and says, "From today onwards, I will torture you and make you bathe in boiling water." She continues yelling at him, saying, "You have no right to judge whether I am beautiful, charming, good at English, or curvy." At that moment, Hana's angry expressions look exactly like Ryan's expressions when he gets mad. Shin starts laughing and tells them, "You two are truly alike." But Hana says, "No, he is mocking me. He needs to be taught a lesson." So Shin kicks Ryan out of the apartment. Then Hana tells Ryan gently, "I will let you back in, but on one condition. If I prove to you that I deserve Shin, you will leave him alone and stop trying to take him to America." Ryan agrees and says, "All right, but the chances of that happening are 1 in a million. Actually, 1 in a billion. In other words, impossible." Hana immediately slams the door in his face again, hurting his nose for the second time. One day, Shin's brother sees him filling out an application for an American university and immediately realizes that Shin is planning to go study in America. Shin tells him that he is doing all this just for Hana, so he can protect her properly. He asked his brother not to tell Hana or Ryan about this. At that moment, Ryan arrives and asks Shin to go out with some girls, but Shin refuses, saying he is busy with work. Ryan genuinely feels that Shin has completely changed because of Hana. Shin's brother explains to him that having Hana by Shin's side fills the emotional void he has carried since childhood after their parents' separation. He also makes Ryan understand that Shin truly loves Hana and will never leave her, which means that Ryan himself will eventually have to take over his father's company. Later, Hana decides to buy a jacket for Shin. Ryan sees her and notices that her fashion taste is terrible, so he decides to help her. But every time she picks a jacket, he tells her it looks ugly and doesn't suit Shin. Then Ryan picks a jacket for himself, and Hana tells him, "This jacket really suits you. It looks good on you." Ryan immediately says, "Are you trying to get close to me?" Hana replies, "I just want us to get along because you are Shin's cousin. If you start to like me a little, maybe he'll leave us alone and stop trying to take him to America." Ryan suddenly grabs her, pulls her towards him, and says, "I'll tell Shin that you're an easy girl and that you were trying to flirt with me." Hana gets angry, hits him, and says, "All I wanted was for us to have a good relationship. I never wanted anything more than that." When Shin returns home and doesn't find Hana there, he looks at Ryan, who tells him about the fight that happened between them. Shin goes to look for Hana and sees her still cursing at Ryan. Shin tells her that she doesn't need to get close to Ryan or force him to accept their relationship, because he himself already accepts her exactly as she is and loves her. Hana tells him she only did all that because she knows Ryan is reckless and might actually take him away to America, and she doesn't want to be separated from him. Shin hugs her and reassures her that he will never leave her. The very next day, Hana goes to apologize to Ryan and brings him a gift. But when she opens the fridge, she discovers that he also made a cake to apologize to her. Thus, they sit together, eat, and finally make peace. Hana asks him why he wants so badly to take Shin to America. Ryan explains that Shin is supposed to take over his father's company because he is the only one capable of doing so. He tells her that 10 years ago, Shin lived with them and acted as an older brother to him. Shin always protected him from bullying, and anyone who bothered him would get beaten up by Shin. Since then, Ryan looked up to Shin as his hero and tried to imitate him in everything. But unfortunately, he could never become like him. Shin was always in first place while he remained in second. Hana tries to boost his confidence by telling him things he can do that Shin cannot. Meanwhile, Shin stands outside listening to their conversation. Through Ryan's words, he realizes that Ryan has started to develop feelings for Hana, so he immediately walks in, hugs Hana, and kisses her in front of Ryan as a silent message telling him he needs to drop those feelings. The next day at school, rumors spread that Hana and Shin are dating. Hana denies it, but the girls tell her that people saw them walking together. Shiyun is about to intervene, but Ryan steps in first and says that Hana is actually his girlfriend and that he came all the way from America just to see her because he missed her. He tells the girls that Hana only walked with Shiyun because Shiyun is his cousin. Then he threatens anyone who speaks badly of her. To back up Ryan's lie, Shiyun suddenly grabs Hana and walks with her through the school halls. Later, Hana thanks Ryan for helping her, but he tells her he didn't do it for her. He only did it for Shiyun so he wouldn't get expelled. Hana tells him to stop lying because it's obvious he actually cares about her now. They start playfully bickering while Shiyun leaves them and walks away. The following day at school, Ryan continues to pretend to be Hana's boyfriend. Around that time, the school festival begins, and each class is asked to prepare a special activity. Initially, Ryan decides not to participate, but when he finds out that Shiyun is participating and that Shiyun's class won first place the previous year, he changes his mind and decides he will participate and win first place himself. He gathers all his classmates and tells them they must do everything in their power to defeat Shiyun's class and win the competition. Each class starts preparing for the festival, and each class chooses a different activity. Hana's class is assigned to make and serve desserts. She prepares various desserts and asks Shiyun for his opinion, and he tells her they are good. But when Hana gets up to grab something from the drawer, she suddenly discovers Shiyun's application forms for the American university and realizes he has already filled out all the information. When Hana shows the university application to Shiyun, he tells her he is considering studying at an American university. He tries to reassure her by saying it's only for 4 years, but Hana tells him she can't bear that. She breaks down emotionally, saying she can't bear being away from him even for 4 days, let alone 4 years. She then leaves the house crying. Minsu comes to comfort her and offers to help convince Shiyun to change his mind, but Hana refuses, saying she wants to talk to him herself. This shows how smart and considerate Hana is, as she doesn't want to drag her friend into problems with her boyfriend, especially since Minsu used to have a crush on Shiyun as well. On the day of the festival, Ryan motivates his class and keeps reminding them that they absolutely must win this year. Afterwards, he goes to see Hana, and the moment he sees her, he is stunned by how beautiful she looks. But Hana assumes he is insulting her in English again. Ryan asks her to go back home because Shin cannot live without her. Hana replies, "You must be the happiest person right now because you will finally take Shin to America." Ryan gets upset, and Hana realizes she said the wrong thing. At that moment, the girls in her class tell her to take a break from work, so she ends up wandering around the festival with Orion, while he pretends to be her boyfriend. Ryan uses the opportunity to mock Shin, then drags her into a couples competition. They both fail every question and end up winning last place. Then the host tells them they have to kiss each other. Both are shocked, but Ryan slowly leans in closer and is about to kiss her when Shin suddenly appears in disguise and saves her at the last moment. Shin then starts talking to Hana about studying in America again. He tells her he only wanted to go so he could become a successful man capable of protecting her, but Hana gets angry and says, "How are you supposed to protect me when you're not even by my side? When I cry, who will wipe my tears? Who will hug me? If you do this, our relationship is over." Then she yells at him and walks away. She goes to sit near the train station where she bumps into Ryan. At that moment, they discover that the trains have stopped due to floods and heavy rain. Therefore, Ryan is forced to take her to his place temporarily. Shin is informed about this and wants to come pick her up immediately, but Ryan advises him to stay where he is because the weather outside is terrible. He promises him that once the trains start running again, he will return Hana. Ryan begins to take care of Hana. He gives her some clothes to wear and prepares a hot drink for her. Meanwhile, Shin keeps trying to call Hana, but she refuses to answer him. Ryan hands her the phone and asks her to answer while he prepares a bath for her, but she still ignores Shin's calls. Shin's brother then visits him and asks about Hana. Shin calls her again, but this time Ryan answers and tells him that Hana is taking a bath. During their conversation, Shin asks Ryan how he would rate Hana now. Ryan says that if she took better care of herself, became prettier, curvier, and improved her English, he would honestly rate her 100 out of 100. Hearing this makes Shin suddenly feel afraid that Hana might slip through his fingers, so he immediately rushes out to go see her. While running in the rain, he keeps remembering all the memories they shared together, from the first time he met her to all the moments they lived together. He becomes torn between going to America to become stronger for her or staying by her side. Shin confesses to his brother that he's terrified Hana will leave him the same way everyone he ever loved abandoned him, but his brother reassures him and tells him the most important thing right now is to go apologize to her. Back at Ryan's place, Ryan quietly takes care of Hana while she sleeps on the couch. Subconsciously, she begins thinking about Shin, but Ryan takes advantage of the moment and leans closer to her. When she wakes up, she is shocked and immediately pushes him away. At that very moment, Shin arrives and takes her home with him. On the way back, he notices that both Hana and Ryan are acting strange and unusually quiet. Hana refuses to talk to him, so Shin goes to ask Ryan what happened. Ryan tells him frankly, "I kissed her." Shin immediately punches him and they start fighting. Shin tells him, "You are not the hero I always thought you were." Then he admits that ever since Ryan came to Japan, he was afraid of him because he knew Ryan had feelings for Hana. Ryan replies, "I will never defeat you because she has never looked at me the way she looks at you." He then tells Shin that from now on, he will stop relying on him, will take over his father's company himself, and will one day become even better than Chaeyon. Meanwhile, at school, a scandal spreads that Hana is dating 2 guys at the same time because someone posted pictures of her with Shin near the school. bullies start harassing her, saying, "A girl like you dating the two hottest guys in school?" They even hit her out of jealousy. But then Ryan steps up in front of everyone and announces that he was never dating Hana because she is actually Cheyenne's girlfriend, as he tells the students, "At first, I looked down on her, just like all of you, but later I realized that she is kind, honest, and deserves 100%. He admits that she truly deserves Cheyenne. Then Cheyenne seizes the moment and publicly confesses his love to Hana in front of the whole school. He tells her that he will stay by her side and that he will no longer go to America. Hana is overwhelmed with happiness. The students cheer for them. And that brings us to the end of today's video. I hope you all enjoyed it. Until we meet again soon, don't forget to show your support by liking the video and subscribing to the channel. Goodbye, my wonderful friends!